YouTube world. This is my third video in a three-part series I'm doing on medical CBD cannabis and cannabis oil. My first video I was talking about some of the common misconceptions. My second video I was talking about why I use it, anxiety, depression, things of that nature. I'm going to put a link in the description below for both of those videos. I encourage you to watch them first if you haven't yet. This video is going to be the process on how to get your own and how I use it. Now, whether it be the medical CBD cannabis oil, the medical CBD cannabis dried marijuana, or any type of medical marijuana or medical cannabis that you're interested in, this is going to be the process you want to follow. Now, disclaimer, I am Canadian, and in Canada, medical marijuana or medical cannabis is legal. I'm aware, unfortunately, it's not the same case everywhere. So you're going to want to figure out your own laws and regulations. If you are legally allowed to obtain it, the process is going to be similar to ours, so please stay tuned for more information. Now, again, this is prescription, pharmaceutical grade cannabis oil and cannabis that we're talking about, not to be confused with hemp oil that you can get from your health food store or online. The very first step in the process that you're going to want to take is to see a member of your healthcare team, whether it be your family physician, your psychiatrist if it's for a mental health issue, and you're going to want to discuss with them your interest in trying CBD cannabis or medical cannabis. Afterwards, you're going to get them to fill out a form basically stating your diagnosis, how long you've suffered with it, any sort of other treatments that you may have tried. I know some offices charge $20 to $25 for these forms. Mine did not because they're so nice. Once you have those, you're going to want to find a medical marijuana clinic in your city or in a city near you. Most cities have one or two. Some larger cities might have more. They're easy to find. You can look them up online. You can look them up in your yellow pages. You're going to go in with your forms from your doctor and fill out more forms there. You're going to pay a fee. I believe it was between $100 and $150 because medical marijuana clinics are privatized right now. Now, your insurance, your work insurance may cover it under alternative health, or your work surplus might. Each person's work insurance is going to be different, so you're going to have to figure that out on your own. I know some, if not all, of the medical marijuana clinics, if you're a military veteran, a police veteran, or a first response veteran, they will waive or cover the fees. So if you are one of the aforementioned, please talk to them about that and see if that is the case for you. So once you fill out your forms and bring your forms from your healthcare provider, they are going to set up an appointment with their medical marijuana doctor, who is a medical marijuana specialist. You are going to talk with him or her and go over why you want to use it, what product might be best suited for you, how much you should use, and any possible interactions with standard medications that you are taking. Once you've done this, the people at the medical marijuana clinic will ask what licensed producer you want to go with. If you are not sure, they are going to help you find a good one. Now, some rules of thumb you want to go with when finding a licensed producer is one, you want to make sure they're not using pesticides. If you're already suffering from an ailment, and sometimes a very serious one, inhaling or ingesting pesticides is not going to be helpful and is going to be dangerous. You also want to make sure they are registered with Health Canada as well as Cannabis Canada. Those are all ways of knowing that you're with a really great, reputable company. The licensed producer I go with is CanTrust. I'm going to put a link in the description for that as well. That way you can go on and look at their information, some of their products. Of course, you won't be able to order anything unless you have a prescription and a patient ID. So once they have your licensed producer information, they're going to send everything to them from the doctor, from the medical marijuana doctor, from your physician. And usually within 1 to 2 business weeks, you will get a call and they will want you to register online. Then at that point, you can either place an order with them or you can place an order online. And you're allowed up to a certain amount. I'm allowed the equivalent of 1 gram or 1 gram per day. So I can order up to 30 grams in one order per month. So after you do this and place your first order, it usually comes, well, it comes to my house within 1 to 2 business days, which is really great. And in your very first order, you're going to get your medical marijuana card. And this is what you want to hold on to. If you're going to be using, especially if you're going to be using your medical cannabis outside your private home, if you're traveling throughout Canada with it, I mean, if you got stopped by the police for any reason, they're going to want to know why you're carrying 30 or more grams of medical marijuana. So this is basically, you need to have this with you at all times while you're carrying it. This will cover you legally in Canada. As far as I know, it won't cover you in other countries. And this is your prescription is good. Mine is good for a year. I know people using other products, it may not be good for as long. So you're responsible before your prescription's up to go back to the clinic and have it renewed. So once you have your first order, you can try, like I said, you can try that product. If that product isn't working for you, or you find it too strong or whatnot, you can switch it up with another one. And yeah, that is basically the process on how to get it. If you are actually suffering from an ailment, it is in Canada, it is not overly hard to get. There is a legal process, so it does take some time to come through. And I'm aware that some people will abuse this system as people abuse every system. But if you are suffering from an actual ailment, it is really not too difficult to obtain. So if you have any comments or questions about the process of going on about getting it, or if you know me personally and want to ask me any questions, feel free to do so on Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, text. I promise discretion to be non-judgmental. If you would like to stay tuned, I'm going to show you how I use it in just a moment. So how I use my medical CBD cannabis oil, you can use it in different ways. You can add it to food. You can add it to tea. I call that anxiety. Get it? I'm pretty funny. You can put it directly under your tongue or sublingually. I tried doing this before though, and if you're not used to the taste, it is really strong. It is concentrated marijuana oil, and I found it really dried out my mucosa, my mouth. It was probably the worst dry mouth or pasty mouth I've had, so I do not use it sublingually. But I find the trick to cancel that out is very easy. I have it's like a little tea. You can use a little shot glass or whatever. I put almond or coconut milk in it. I can't digest dairy, that's why. But I find that's a good base. Then I just, put the oil like this inside of it. And if it separates a little, it will all join together as oil does. And then I just take a shot of it, which I'm going to do right now because I'm not going to waste it. And then I hold it in my mouth for about 5 to 10 seconds and swallow it. It takes effect at a different time depending on how. Sublingually is obviously the fastest way to have it take effect. It takes 20 minutes to an hour if ingested with any sort of food. But again, I really didn't like taking it sublingually. It really dried out my mouth. So that is basically my method of taking CBD cannabis oil, the one that works best for me. And the actual dried marijuana, now I am going to invest in a really good vaporizer. I've been shopping, I've been looking at the ones on my licensed producer site, I've been looking at some other ones. So I want to get a really good product. I want to make sure it's actually vaporizing and not just heating it. Right now, I don't use it every day, so honestly, I know that smoking is not healthy, but that's how I use it. Currently, when I first got it, I wasn't going to invest in a $150 to $300 vaporizer if it didn't work for me. So now that I know that it works, and I will probably start using it more often over even the oil, it is a little bit cheaper and it does work for me very quickly.
I use it generally if I know I'm going to be in a circumstance which may cause me anxiety or a panic attack, such as having to be around multiple humans and interacting with them at the same time, or if I'm going to be, I generally know some triggers, so I will use it beforehand. It's really great using it around menstruation time, that sort of thing. So I will be investing in a vaporizer, and once I get it, I will show it to you guys. I am definitely all about health, and I realize that smoking it is not the healthiest way to do it. So I am definitely investing in a vaporizer. But for now, like I said, you can use it any way you would use regular marijuana until you're sure that you want to invest in, vaporizers. Really good vaporizers are going to be expensive. But that is how I use it, and this wraps up the third video in my 3-part series on medical CBD cannabis and cannabis oil. I hope you've enjoyed it, learned something. I hope I've helped somebody out there. If you like this video and other natural medicine type videos, natural healing, please subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. They make me so incredibly happy. And I will see you soon on my next video. Peace and one love. Bye for now.